I'm here with Brenda Wood-Kahari and Barry Gerber, who are co-chairs of our upcoming Building Africa with Brands conference, which is taking place in Cape Town, South Africa on September 1st and 2nd of 2016. This will be INTA's first conference in Africa. Welcome and thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you.
So let's start with some introductions. Brenda, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your background and your practice in Zimbabwe?
I am a legal practitioner in Zimbabwe. B.W. Kahari specializes in intellectual property and commercial transactions. We've been in existence now for 30 years, as of this year, actually. We pretty much handle all aspects of intellectual property, but a very strong emphasis on trademarks and brands. And we actually assist clients from the beginning of creation of the mark straight through to enforcement.
And Barry, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and your current role?
Well, I'm South African, which is why I'm very, very pleased to be part of this conference going back to Africa. I was in private practice for many years, both in South Africa and in London, and then worked for the Coca-Cola company in Europe, and finally ended up at Philip Morris, based in Switzerland.
So Brenda, to start us off, why don't you share with us what you believe to be some of the biggest challenges and opportunities that brand owners face in South Africa?
I would say throughout Africa we have a number of challenges. I would focus maybe on three major ones, and that would be efficiency, enforcement, and also lack of knowledge. And when I talk of the first two, efficiency, that's usually, and enforcement, that usually is related to lack of skills. Sometimes it's a lack of proper equipment, and other aspects which are challenges, including occasional power cuts that we may have. But I think the biggest one is lack of knowledge, which we can actually correct. And this conference is one of the ways we can do it. And that's lack of knowledge for both brand owners as to how things should operate or how things are operating in Africa, as well as lack of knowledge on the part of those who are responsible for registration, protection, promotion, and so forth within African states. Obviously, I think there's a great deal of opportunity because right now, all of the African states, I believe, without exception, are very keen and interested in intellectual property, not only from the standpoint of consumer protection, but also because they understand the bottom line impact on their economies.
Brenda, why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of the educational programming that we can expect at the conference?
At the sessions, we're going to be looking at a number of educational as well as practical things. This time we're going to do a different takeoff on filing systems and strategies. Following that, there's going to be, of course, discussions about designs. And Barry has pointed out to us many times that we have neglected that in Africa. So there's just going to be a lot, and I believe there will be a lot, there will be something for everyone.
I understand that one of the hot topics that we're going to look into here that might be very much relevant to the business world outside of Africa is mobile marketing.
Yes.
Perhaps you can speak a little bit to how this technology has sort of taken off on the African continent, and what makes it quite different from the rest of the world.
Africans have adapted the use of mobile phones to things that we would never have considered. That they're using it when it comes to payments of electricity and other utilities. They're using it for farming. They are using it instead of going to see a doctor. You can have an appointment with a nurse, for example, over your mobile phone. So there's opportunities in the use of mobile phones that we probably haven't really thought through. That presents branding opportunities. And hopefully we'll be able to share some of the speakers that we are going to bring onto this panel very, very, very soon. But we're going to look at global technology owners and how they are thinking about how they can actually use this as a way to market to a untapped millions of people within Africa who use a mobile phone as their home computer. It's their lifeline. It's every other form of communication put into one little device.
Yeah. Well, to end things off, one last question. Why should people attend this conference?
This is going to be fun. Absolutely. Be prepared for having a great time. Cape Town is fantastic. I think many people will be pleasantly surprised at the environment and how lovely the city is and great things to do.
The thing I like about it is they have chosen people from Africa. Most of the people on our actual group that are organising this, the actual project team, you know, the vast majority are Africans. They understand what other people in Africa are looking for. So I think it's going to be taking a different approach, looking at things about what can we bring to Africa, but also what can Africa share with the world. That to me is very exciting.
Well, Brenda, Barry, best of luck in the coming months as you continue to plan this event, and I hope to see you both in Cape Town in September.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to seeing you there too.